And whenever one of those things came in, it wasn't like one of the big, they were Chinooks. We had another name for them, something hook, and it SH something T hook, okay? So that's the name with them. When they came in, yeah, they threw a lot of junk around, but they didn't. But when those Jolly Giants came in, you ran like a son of a gun.
Yeah.
And after they left, you went around trying to put out the fires. Those little pebbles started. And so that's how they got all the stuff in there. That's it. And when you were there, it was a chance maybe to, relax a little bit. You're not walking, you're not humping 70 pounds on your back. You're just relaxing for a while. And what would happen is, on those fire braces, they would bring in the mobile PX. A couple of helicopters would come flying in, and on the helicopter would be cases, and in those cases would be things like cigarettes, razor blade, candy, and whatever. And you paid them in military script. You didn't get paid in real money over there. They got this military money. So the VC couldn't use it in black market and stuff like that. So,
right.
So you got paid military script. And, so if there's anything you needed or any little luxury you wanted, they came in with, because we all had these, remember the original cassette players were about this long, about this wide, flipped open? We all had one of those, so when we were sitting around, we could play music, stuff like that.
So typically, how much did you get paid in military script? In
military script?
Yeah. And then what were your purchase prices on the items that you wanted?
Oh, they were cheap. They were cheap. I think at that time I was being paid $120 a month.
120 units, 120 credits?
$120.
Okay.
Okay. And the military script was dollars.
So everything was based on a dollar?
Everything was based on a dollar. Plus, I think I got a $30 a month combat pay or something like that. So I was making like $150 a month.
And the prices on the items that you most wanted, did they nickel dime you? Was it $4.98 and was there?
No, it was all even money.
$2.
There was no change.
Right.
There was no change.
Eliminate
it was all
that.
it was all dollar, even dollar amounts.
Right.
And I mean, you'd pay $1 for a pack of cigarettes. No, not even that. I think buy like 2 packs of cigarettes for $1. You could buy a cassette tape for like $2 or $3. I mean, it was.
Sounds like you could buy a whole Coke machine for $5.
Yeah, basically. I mean, in the PX and bass, we could talk about that later, but you could buy stereo equipment, you could buy camera equipment, you could buy, at really, really good prices, no tariffs or nothing. So stuff that cost $400 over here, you could pick up for $200 over there, But the funny part about it is one time we're on a fire base and a thunderstorm comes in, a nice heavy downpour. And out in the jungle, you don't get a chance to take a bath very often. So the thunderstorm comes in, and everybody's standing on top of bunkers, naked, washing themselves off, and in comes the PX choppers. Well, it wasn't just the PX choppers. For some reason, they brought 2 USO girls with them, too.
So how many guys are in the unit?
Oh, there's a company.
Okay, so how many guys is that?
Well, let's see.
100 guys?
About a little over 100.
So there's choppers flying over the fire base. There's 2 USO girls. There's 100 naked guys.
Well, I don't know if there's 100. There's a good 50 naked guys standing on a bunker. And they're coming in, and they're leaning out the thing, walking the thing, circling the fire base. And, of course, the pilots knew. So they just
giving them a good show.
They just kept circling. And the guys, you get a bath once a month out there if you're lucky. Yeah. So they're sitting there going, "Hi, how you doing? Hey, how you?" And they just were all grins when they landed. It was funny.
So do you have any memories about the guys in your unit?
Yeah, as I told you earlier in our conversations we've ever had over this, you only knew really the guys in your squad. Those are the guys you knew. You basically ate with them, slept with them, and you know what I mean by that. You're in the same bunkhouse, in the same area when you're in the AO, and these were the guys you counted on. These were the guys that one had your back, you had somebody else's back, and that. And a guy named David Harvey, he was probably my closest friend there. Unfortunately, I have lost touch with him, but he was from New York. Then we had another guy, his name was Paul Christian. think it was Christian. We called him Brother Purple because he always wore these round John Lennon purple glasses. So he was Brother Purple. Then there was Willie T. We just called him T. He was one of the M60 gunners. Then there was Jose.
Jose.
His name was Jose, and the other last name, I never can remember it, but it sounded like Jose. So we was Jose. And he was, oh God, he was a hot ticket. If somebody in that place was going to make you laugh, it was going to be him. I remember one time, shortly after a firefight, he's walking around singing at the top of his lungs. And Willie, what the hell are you singing? Oh, I'm singing about home. I'm singing about mom. I'm singing about, yeah, but you're singing Tom Lehrer. A black guy doesn't sing Tom Lehrer. He says, yeah, but take me back to old Alabama, back to my arms, my dear old mammy. Her cooking's lousy and her hands are clammy, but what the hell, it's home. So, you know, he was the guy. Another one of these guys that, unbelievable. And when you got in on Stand Down, those were the guys that you partied with. Those were the guys that, you know, you snuck off into a bunker somewhere and got hammered, you know. Yeah. You know, marijuana use was heavy over there. And half the guys smoked and the other half drank. And so when you were on a stand down, there were guys over here, you know, the smokers were over here, and I mean together, but the drinkers were over here, and everybody was drinking and smoking and getting wasted. And we had this dog and in base camp. And I think this dog made the rounds, you know what I mean? But they used to get the dog high. They used to do what they call blow a shotgun in the face, where they'd blow through the bowl of the pipe and the smoke would come out the stem. And this dog would just sit there and then we used to say he'd get stoned and get lost for 2 or 3 days. and then this dog, 2 or 3 days later, this dog would come, and then he's back again, you know. And, but I think he was just making the rounds because he got fed. But he was an American dog because he hated anybody who was of Oriental descent. If anybody of Oriental descent came around, he growled and he barked and you know. So I think some Americans, sometime around the line, said, excuse the term, but gook, get him, you know. And no, but.
So typically, how far apart were fire bases from base camps?
Oh, they could be an hour's flight.
By helicopter?
Yeah, by helicopter.
And how often would you go back to a base camp?
We'd go into the jungle for at least 4 to 6 weeks. Some of that time was spent on a fire base, so you weren't
walking for 4 to 6 weeks.
Walking 4 to 6 weeks. We usually spent at least a week on a fire base.
And that concludes segment number 2 of our conversation with Rick Schultz and his experiences during the Vietnam War. Thank you for watching. Please join us again for segment number 3. And remember, we're all living history right now.